You can see how much tension it's got. Is that 90 degrees? So can you read that, Cheryl?
Let's see, it says 2.5 pounds looks
About
like.
2.5 pounds of yeah. Okay, and obviously the further I pull it back, if I can get my hand out of the way, the further I pull it back, if I go back to about 120 degrees, it's going to increase, right? So obviously the further back that it is, whoops, the more power it's going to have. So it's going to get all its power, you know, when it first starts out, and then it's going to decrease on the power as it goes forward. This is actually 120 is right there. So this is almost, it's almost 3.5 pounds. Okay. Now, where we just increased those levers, if we try one of those, what do you think is going to happen? More or less? Less. A lot less. Like it should be almost twice the amount less. Okay. And I'm thinking we might be able to use a 2-pound one on here. At 90 degrees is just over 1/2 pound. Okay. So again, you know, we did the roll test. You really could have the kids use different length arms, and they could actually, you know, check the tension and then see which one works on the test. Okay. Now, if you decide not to use the what was supplied with the Mousetrap, I have some. This is actually some welding wire. Works a little bit better than a coat hanger only because it's nice and straight. But I did the same thing. Just took a piece of material and just bent it. I'll give you another straight part. And so it's up to you. Wider. Yeah. Bend it, you know, at 90 degrees, and then they can figure out what length they want. Okay. And before you figure out your length, though, the only other catch is when it comes to pulling off of your off that rear axle. Okay, where do you think would be the make the most sense? Where it would have the best angle to pull off that axle to give you the most power? Think it'd be further back, forward, or right over the axle?
I was thinking over the axle.
Yeah, it should be right over the axle. So the only thing is, if you use a really, really long lever arm, you're going to have all that extra string, right? So that's not going to be so good. So I think I would, you know, try to figure it out, decide where you want to put your mousetrap, and then it'll help you locate where you want to put, how long you want to have your arm. And this is where it's kind of important to see. Kids could put their mousetrap, they could have it right there towards the back. If you want to go the shortest, they could even have it overhanging. You know, if you have a nice short one, they could, you know, line it up at the edge. It could be all the way forward, and this is offset over an inch. You see the difference as far as if they wanted to use a longer arm, how much they could move the whole mousetrap forward.
Mm-hmm. So you thought this probably.
Yeah, if I have a ruler. Yeah, like okay, just say if they were to pivot it right from here, you look at going in this direction, they would have almost 8 inches. Whereas if they flipped it over and went backwards, like this, they could reduce it to about 3 inches. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of variation. So that's exactly why we didn't put this, when we did the kits, we had, you know, had them so they put this chassis upper support or the mousetrap mount, not centered. Okay? And then if you get kids that really want to think out of the box, they can take this whole thing after they do some experimenting, and they can move the whole plate almost right over the rear axle. Okay? So you think you guys know what to do next? Did I confuse you too much? I know there's a lot of stuff, but I'm more than willing to help you out. What do you think? Mark, you want to go with a short arm or a long arm? Longer? Okay. Okay, who's going to take the shortest arm?
I'll take the short arm.
Short arm. Okay, so do you want to go somewhere in between?
All right.
So I'll tell you what, how about if you use this length? I'm not Mark, I'll make one even a little bit longer than that. And how about if you come up with an arm that's at least like an inch shorter than hers? Okay? So, yeah, when you set this up, then you're just going to want to put this so that it's...
to the edge?
Yeah, so it's right over the axle. Okay? All right. And you see how hers is going to kind of pull off to the side, so you're going to want to give this a little bit of a bend. So it's pulling from the center. So I can kind of go like this a little bit. That's going to be enough or not. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you're going to kind of pull right off the center, not way off to one side. Okay? So all you really have to do is glue glue the mousetrap where you want. Some of the ones that I have, we bolted them on there if the kids are gonna do a lot of experimenting. You know, they could put, you know, any kind of screws, bolt, anything to hold it down. Or hot glue, you know what, they could put it down, you can slice it with a knife, it'll come right back off. Okay, then, just so we don't go over the axle.
Like this, it.
Difference.
You told me to make it short, I made it short.
Short, yep. Okay, oops, that's not your mousetrap. Okay. So again, you're gonna wanna try to pull straight over that axle, so
Yeah,
I think
I
I
gotta
would
back it
glue
up.
it. Yeah, lay it overhang like that and glue it about there, okay? So you need the batteries? You wind this back, you're gonna wind it in this direction, okay? So for the cable tie, it's not gonna matter that much, I don't think, when the kids put it on, but I think you're better off if you have it in this direction, okay? Because then the knot can catch on this whole edge here.
Okay.
Okay, so let me take that tension off here and get it out of the way. I'd wrap it around here.
Hang on, we're being filmed here.
Okay. Wrap it around this way.
Okay.
I would leave it a little bit loose.
Okay.
Okay. I'd go back to where the hot glue is.
Okay.
Take just a little bit of hot glue, put a little dab on it, and then what I would do is with 2 pairs of pliers, if you can hold it, this would definitely be like a team effort. Whoops. You know, I would try to get it right in the middle and then just kind of like tighten it up.
When we're putting hot glue.
I would put a little hot glue on the axle.
Okay.
And then just so, I mean, number one, that cable tie, it's gonna tighten itself up against the axle, but it's round, so it still might spin. So if you put a little bit of hot glue on there, well, let's do it together.
Ready?
So that's about in the center, right? So I put a little bit of glue there.
Right, my little wet line there.
Yeah, about there. Yeah, maybe even a little bit more.
Hang on.
I guess when I say a little, I mean quite a bit.
No,
Perfect.
no. I just couldn't get the trigger. That's what happened.
And then because once that sets up, that's going to make it, it's going to just make sure it doesn't spin on you. Okay, and just let that sit for a minute or two.
Yeah.